Oops. My bad. I think I accidentally closed the stream and just... Anyways. My B. Yay! Hopefully people will figure out. Oh no. That's so weird because it's like my stream is still acting like I'm live. I don't even... the comedic timing. Oops. Hi guys. My bad. That was funny. My B. Oh. I don't even know what's going on anymore, I'll be honest, guys. Sorry about that. I don't even know what happened. Hopefully people figure out I'm still streaming. That's crazy. Crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. There's so much stuff. There's always stuff. I'm still trying to figure out how to set up Krita that I can actually stream. No, I just clicked the X button accidentally. It was entirely my fault. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was my B. Entirely my fault. Okay, okay. Hold on a minute, guys. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I have to set up so much stuff. This is why I don't change my stream plan in out of nowhere. It's just you don't do that. Oh my gosh. So, how have you guys been like spending your day other than watching the stream? How has your days been while I'm struggling with technology? Bye, Minty. Cleaning and homework for college. Very based. Very based. Oh my gosh. Ooh. It appears to be working. It appears that I might have a stream for you all in half a second. Oh, I should probably turn my music back on. That would be good. That'd be nice to have. Pretty much the same as yesterday, but this time I'm cutting steel in half. I'm making a new tool for my forging endeavors. Dang! A lot of sleep and spending time with the Lord. I bought an air purifier, filters. I've been celebrating with my friends' birthdays because they're both born in the same exact day. That's crazy. Everyone's had such productive days, and I'm over here like... Oh? Okay, I need to get chat, and then I can actually be a good streamer. Perhaps? Mayhaps? Oh, it looks like I'm gonna have to get my laptop to watch chat because it does not want to do that. Anyways, that's fun. Love that. I'm sorry, guys. This is like the craziest stream. It's okay. It's just part of my personality now, I suppose. I could at least transition streams. But don't worry, I've done nothing but play chores today. Won't lie, didn't work today, so I slept in like crazy. Woke up like 2 hours before stream started, ate some breakfast, and here I am. Nice. But listening to stuff on Good Friday. Nice. Yeah, we're being productive while she's trying to make people cry with Jesus videos. My day was completely unproductive. Aw, sad. That's unfortunate. Okay, if my laptop would turn on, I can actually like look at the chat while I'm streaming, but you know. Bam, bam, bam. Went to the park with my sling and a wiffle ball. Last time to King David, my aim is awful. That's pretty cool though. I'll be honest. My mom bought me and my brother like ball bearing slingshots. Like ones that you shoot little ball bearings out of. Because to like defend ourselves in case someone broke into our house. So me and brother would go out behind the house and like practice shooting things with them. My brother got really good at it. I didn't. I just didn't have like the draw strength, I suppose. Unfortunate. Oh. Okay, now I can actually see chat. That's awesome. Love that. Hi, Jade. Me just starting. They just starting, Frog. Feel like crying. Okay. Let's see how this works. Okie dokie. Time to draw. While I'm drawing, I can think of something like you guys probably would want to talk about. Oh my gosh, I love how I touch the frames in it. This stream is a blessing. Yay! Looks like the Lord is using us to make you be productive right now with your project. Real! God's like, okay, child. Time for you to actually do something with your life. We can talk about... I'm looking for something specific. Is it this one? Nope, it's not that one. That's not what I wanted. This one. There it is. My beloved. I still don't have... brush presets, I think is what it's called. Yeah. I need those. Alrighty. Honestly, did not do much today, but yesterday I celebrated my older brother's birthday. Oh, nice! Happy birthday to him. What did you end up doing to your speaker? I don't know where it is. Oh, I threw it under the bed because it started screaming at me again. I don't want to bother with it. Frog, do you have any tips on making Christian-themed story? I said this last stream, but it crashed. Oh, I enjoy making skits, but I want to do it for God. For me, when I'm making Christian-themed stories, I love making stories from my own life. So, it kind of like, it's a little self-centered, a little bit, but like, it's kind of the thing is like, create from what you know, I suppose. What's your testimony? What has God done in your life? How you can turn that into a story. You can change it a little bit. But, you know, still, it's like you have a reference point. You have a history with God yourself. I feel like my style has changed significantly since I started this project, I'll be honest. Have you seen the new Chosen episodes? I have not yet. I really want to. I need to just sit down and like binge them all. I enjoy The Chosen. I know there's a lot of like controversy, but I enjoy good Christian media that actually has like put effort to make quality content. I appreciate it. And I know like enough people that have been impacted very positively by The Chosen. It's like, okay, it's doing good, even if maybe it's not from a good like heart place, but whatever. It's in timeout. Yeah. I got to sling because I figured it would be the only thing that could get me to go outside consistently. Fair enough. A shepherd sling is on another level, like, for real. 100%. Do not want to be on the receiving end of one of those. You guys are gonna see me really struggle drawing beards because I don't know how to draw beards. Oh, I could actually, this is like a really good time to ask you guys for feedback on my videos. I haven't like put out like, ooh, what's the last video I made? I don't even remember. I haven't been putting out like a lot of like actual content recently. But what about my videos do you think that like makes you enjoy them? And what about it do you think that they could do just fine without, I guess? I'm trying to like, I have a longer content video. I think it's gonna be like 25 minutes long. So it's pretty long and I'm like struggling figuring out how to edit it. It's not gonna take 3 months, you know? So I'm like trying to figure out like what parts do I need to like keep in my video editing process, like what is necessary, and what parts can it go without and still be fine, you know? I suppose. You know what I should do is just hire a video editor, honestly, with my $2 in my bank account. Just hire someone. I actually have several video editor friends that are willing to do it. I'm just like, I don't have the money to pay you right now. Alas, the sad of being a small YouTuber. I've seen a lot of animated Christian content coming this year, like King of Kings movie. Yeah, I've been noticing that too. Like, Christian arts has been, like, kind of popping off lately. It's really cool. If I flip this canvas, it's gonna look really bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's okay. Can you guys hear the music, by the way? Because I don't know if I can turn it up, actually. It's a little quiet. Where is this brush? Hold on a minute. I think there's someone at my door. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm sorry. Everything is gonna go wrong during the stream, I promise. Okay, I'm gonna turn up the volume on the music then, so you guys can hear it. Hopefully that's better. Hi, Kakira! Hi! Imagine hair and put it on your chin. Bye, Dar Art. Thank you for joining the stream. Liquify brush, my beloved. Music's a little too loud. Sad. Okay, hold on. I can fix this. Oh gosh. Like, oh, it was too quiet, and now it's too loud. So good. Okay. Is that good? Is that a good level? What's the purple? I just like purple. I don't know. I want purple and gold as like the theme for the animation. Because I think they're pretty. Pretty colors. Pretty colors. I don't actually remember what brush I was using for the liner earlier when I was working on this. Where do you get your music? I'm listening to Stream Safe Lo-Fi. It's a channel on Spotify. Or like a artist on Spotify. You can just stream their stuff and it's chill. You don't get copyright strikes. Although I have been watching a lot of copyrighted content in this stream, so I probably will get copyright strike anyways. Okay, I need a reference of the picture of Jesus I had. Oh heck, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh crap. I am so sorry. I'm trying my best, guys. There will always be scuff. Okay, that's my color palette for Jesus. Beautiful, beautiful. I made fruit tarts for the first time today. Ooh. That sounds really good. I'm trying to think of things to talk about. I'm really bad at this. You know, streaming thing. It is hard. It is in fact very difficult knowing like how to yap constantly. If you guys have like any questions about anything, feel free to ask me. I wouldn't find to yap about pretty much anything right now. I know I usually have rules like no politics, no this or that. I'm honestly chill with whatever. It's fine. Unless it's like a really bad question to ask on stream. What's been on my mind lately? Maybe talk about like characters if you have some. I have a lot of characters. I don't know if you want me to, I don't think you want me to go on that rant. What's been on my mind lately has been a lot of just God's grace and how he's used me. Cause like recently I've been feeling like very inadequate. Well, you know, like YouTube is not really a good job to have. And even though I have like quit my job to pursue YouTube because I felt like God told me to, I haven't done a whole lot. I haven't made a lot of videos. I've been wasting a lot of time doing nothing. And I've been feeling kind of like depressed about that recently, and I called my mom last night and we just talked about it, and I realized, well, God's been working on my heart in this time and I'm obeying him to the best of my ability. There is still a benefit to that, even though I haven't been doing as much as I think I'm supposed to. I'm still obeying God to some degree. But I definitely want to get better at like actually using my time wisely, using the gifts God has given me wisely, because well, I go to Papua New Guinea in, I think, like a month. So, in like a month, I'm gonna be in Papua New Guinea for another month, and I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to do anything while I'm there. I'm probably just gonna fall off the face of the earth. And then when I get back, I'll be helping my family get settled into America. And then after that, it's college. So, I don't know how much time I'm gonna have left before college to actually do anything, like YouTube, anything like artsy or anything like this. If God wants me to do YouTube in college, he'll find time for me to do it, I'm sure. I'm just, you know, I don't have a lot of time left, and I would like to, like, serve God to the best of my ability while I can, you know? That's the dream anyways. Yeah. My gosh. So many messages. Thanks for logging me blueberry and strawberry tarts. Ooh, that sounds so good. Oh my gosh. Have you read any good fantasy Christian books? I will definitely recommend the Circle series by Ted Dekker. I wouldn't recommend a ton of Ted Dekker stuff. He writes like Christian horror, like very dark, pretty like descriptive stuff. Like I don't read most of his stuff, but he has a Circle trilogy, which is very, very good. It's kind of Narnia-esque in that it creates like an allegory or an analogy. But this guy basically lives out the entire story of the gospel in another world in the span of his lifetime, and it's very, very cool. Any advice on creating animatic storyboards? I have no clue, dude. I mentioned this earlier. I don't I'm not an animator. I have no clue. I just when I'm listening to a song, I will like get pictures in my head of like a story or something, and I'll just try to scribble them down as fast as I possibly can onto like a piece of paper, or well, I used an app last time that kind of like did it for me, which was nice. Have you noticed how many new YouTube animators there are recently? Yes, I've noticed that. Like, I mean, I mentioned this earlier when I first started YouTube, like 2 or 3 years ago. I think it's been 3 years now. I was just starting out, and there was no one really artistic and Christian on YouTube. And it's kind of scary for me because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, there's no one for me to copy, there's no one for me to learn from. I don't really know what I'm doing. I also, you know, you miss people sometimes on YouTube. Like, there's people that have been around as long as I have on YouTube, and I just haven't met until recently. But you know, it's like, it was a much smaller group of people back then, and I kind of had to, like, come up with everything that I did on the spot. I've been learning slowly how to do this well over the last few years. But yeah, I've definitely noticed, like, last 6 months or so, there's been so many new Christian animators, so many people, like, doing artistic stuff for God, doing things that are just so cool, honestly, and I'm so excited about it. We'd love for you to yap about your characters. More important than what you do drawing closer to God. I find that when I'm closer to Him, I'm naturally more productive too, so it's a win-win. Yeah, 100%. That is one of the lessons God has been teaching me, just to keep my eyes fixed on Him, and everything else will fall into place. I can yap about my characters, I suppose. Off the top of my head, there's a story that I've been writing since, I think, like, 7th grade of high school. Well, I haven't been, like, working on it the entire time, but I've had it in the back of my mind since 7th grade of high school, and it's always just been there. And it's called World Shedders, and it's this really, really complicated world-building system, fantasy system, magic system, I suppose, of basically the multiverse. Before I knew about the Marvel multiverse, like, no one ever told me about the multiverse, but that was kind of like the story idea I came up with. And so, like, the world system is basically, there's a bunch of universes called worlds that are kind of organized in the structure of this really big solar system. Like, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of worlds, but they're kind of organized in rings around the central world, which I forget, I think it's called Elysia or something like that. But that's like the center point of the system is what it's called. And Elysia, or whatever the name of it was, has the most stable reality. So, like, when you're on that planet, reality is the most stable. Things don't break. Everything's normal. Everything's, like, predictable. And the farther away you get from Elysia, the farther away you get from the middle of the system, the less stable reality is, and weird stuff happens, and stuff breaks, and it's, like, kind of crazy. So once you get to the outskirts, it's, like, really unpredictable, scary worlds that are really dangerous to be in. And so, oh my gosh, without the sketch, that looks really weird. And so, the people who can, like, there's people that can, like, hop between worlds. They can, like, move from one world to another, kind of like, well, I forget, you know, anyways, they travel dimensions, basically. They're called world shedders, because when you move from one world to another, you shed the world that you're in, and you moved into the other one. And they're called world shedders, and that's one of the 3 forms of magic in the story. It's world shedding, and then there's reality bending, which is where you kind of, like, manipulate reality. And when you're on a more, like, a planet with less stable reality, you're more likely to be able to manipulate stuff and, like, change things. When you're closer to Elysia, you're less likely to do that, which makes them also, like, very safe from, like, people who want to, like, do harm. I suppose. And then there's a third type of magic that I came up with when I was a kid, but never wrote down, and I have no idea what it was. So that was kind of lost to history. So in the story now, officially, just like with reality, there was a third type of magic, but people just forgot how to do it, so it doesn't exist anymore. Because I literally don't remember what the third magic system was. Bye, Mythgard! Thank you for joining the stream. I'm a Christian animator that's starting an indie show. That's cool. So there's these powerful people that can, like, move from between worlds and, like, manipulate reality and stuff. And kind of the most powerful people that can do both world shedding and reality bending, and kind of are, like, set up as, like, this police force in the system. They're called Guardians, I think is what they're called. Yeah, they're just called Guardians, which is a stupid name, but I didn't change it since I was a kid. And they're kind of set up as this council. The most powerful people are the ones who are in charge. Yeah. I will admit, as a Christian artist, I was kind of excited to find your channel since most of the artists I found on YouTube are not Christians. Real. It's hard. I think it's one of the... Yeah. It's a really hard people group to reach, artists, because... You know, you kind of become your own god, honestly. It's a some respect. Like... Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a very selfish, emotions-driven kind of personality type that is an artist, I suppose. And so, the main character of my story, World Shedders, is called Raven, and she was the most, like, I think officially she's the most powerful guardian, but she hides it. She's not the leader of the group, she's just one of the guardians out there, and she's not open with how powerful she is. But she gets into a fight with her old, one of her old, what are they called? Apprentices. So they have an apprentice system. It's really convoluted story. She had an apprentice a long time ago, that she taught how to, like, world shed and, like, reality bend and that kind of thing. And she kind of, like, taught her how to do that and stuff, and she became one of the most powerful world shedders too. And she graduated and stuff, and she settled down in the middle of nowhere and started a family, which is against guardian rules. Like, you're supposed to stay as a guardian for your entire life. Once you become one, you can't, like, leave and do something else. So she gets in this huge fight. She goes to try to find her apprentice, and she gets in this huge fight, accidentally kills her apprentice's family, and her apprentice goes off the rails. She's like, okay, it's over, I'm gonna kill you now. And she's in this massive fight. She refuses to fight back against her apprentice because she's kind of like her daughter. She refuses to, like, hurt her. And so she's, like, about to get killed. She doesn't know what to do. And this kind of, like, this thing, it doesn't get explained until much later in the novel, but she basically trades her memories, her most valuable thing in the most valuable thing that she has in her life, she trades for a second chance at life. And her most valuable thing is her memories, because everything that she loves, everything good about the world, everything good about her life is in the past. She just, like, the only thing that she holds on, the only thing that she really cares about is stuff that is already dead and gone. So her memory, she trades them for a second chance at life. And so the whole story is about her kind of, like, first trying to figure out, you know, how to get her memories back along with her powers, because she's forgotten how to do everything. And eventually realizing she can't, and she's a completely different person now, and she'll never be the old Raven. And she's accompanied by her current apprentice, Peter, and, like, just this random, like, space alien girl named Shard. And so they try to get her memories back, because they're like, oh, we want the old Raven back, the strong, powerful, brave Raven. And they realize when they realize they can't, they have to kind of accept this new person Raven is, the kind of person she was always supposed to be, this, like, really gentle and sweet girl. And then Raven decides, oh, this lady, this old apprentice of mine, she's, like, you know, trying to hunt me down, and she's going through all these planets and just wreaking havoc and killing people, trying to kill me, trying to find me and kill me. I have to stand back up and fight for her. And so this weird dichotomy of, like, she doesn't have any memory of doing anything wrong to her apprentice. She doesn't have any memory of like doing anything bad. It wasn't her. It's not her anymore, but she's still owning up to like mistakes of her past, I suppose. So that's kind of the story, is that she has to like go and face this woman down at the end of like Space and Time and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the plot of the story. It's very, very convoluted, probably because of how long I've had it, and I've had a lot of like years to think about like different aspects of the story and stuff. But yeah, that's like the main story I've always wanted to write, I suppose. It was gonna be a graphic novel originally, and then I realized that was way too much work. Other YouTubers play games, share news, Frog. Yaps. I love yapping. Frogcast? I could try to find some art of my characters. I post a lot of art of them on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram. Darn it, Frog, alright, I'm convicted. I'll open my laptop and get back to working on my book. Hearing you talk makes me want to get back to my story. Still gonna lurk on stream while working though. That's nice. It's one of those projects I probably will never finish because you know me. Motivation who? Bro, why is this so hot? I hate the Midwest! Brother. But recently, just for fun, I did this like thing where I went through all of my old stories, all of my like drawings and stuff, and counted up how many like active original characters I have. I think the final count was like 75 characters with their own stories and everything. So yes, I have a lot of characters. I think about this stuff all the time. It's just one of those things I like to do, is come up with stories. If I wasn't an artist and a YouTuber, I would be an author, for sure. Do you play any video games? I do. I actually have a video game channel that I do not have any links to right now because I didn't plan ahead. But yes, I do play video games. I read a book this year for school. It was so draining. Dang. What kind of school is making you write books? What the heck? That's actually really cool though. Have you played horror games much? I think the most horror game I've ever played was Lethal Company. I'm not a huge fan of horror, not because it bothers me, but just because meh. I'd rather story-based games, honestly. But like horror games like Lethal Company and Repo that you play with other people and just immediately becomes the most funny thing you've ever experienced. That's the kind of game I do enjoy playing. Hi Thomas, hi! Thank you, Mira, I appreciate it. What's your favorite video game? Minecraft, I'm probably gonna say, just because every other one of my favorite video games, I go through phases and then in a few days I won't like it anymore. But Minecraft has just been steady throughout my entire childhood, so yeah. Happy Good Friday, everyone! I heard Jesus' eyes are really pretty. Yeah. Well, in this scene, you don't see his eyes yet, but you will, like, in a little bit. Because cinematography or something like that, I don't know. I don't know what color I want to make Jesus' eyes. Because in Revelation, he's, like, got, like, eyes of fire, right? I usually draw Jesus with white hair, actually. It's, like, my little thing I like doing. But in this one, I wanted to do brown hair just because I thought it matched the, like, vibes better, I suppose. If that makes sense. Story-based games are very cool. 100%. Homeschool I chose to, though. I'm doing a graphic novel course next year, hopefully. That's really cool, bruh. Bro is living the dream. Java or Bedrock? I play Java. I grew up on Bedrock, so I always hold a like precious place in my heart. But I do play Java now. It was very hard to transition over. Hi, Kiri. Hi. Hello. You can make them amber. Ooh. I could definitely make them amber. What Bible verse sticks in your mind the most? I think right now it's still gonna be Song of Solomon 2:1. Which I could pull up right now. I don't have it memorized. For some reason, I've never been able to memorize that verse. Even though it's been my favorite verse for a long time. But I can pull it up. I have my Bible right next to me. I can do that right now. Oh, my favorite game is Risk of Rain 2. I've heard that's a really good one. Where is Song of Solomon? Oh, there it is. It's just crumpled. I couldn't find it. Song of Solomon 2:1 says, I'm a rose of Sharon, a lily of the valleys. And then he says, as a lily among brambles, so is my love among young women. So, oh my gosh, like a year ago now, I was really depressed, kind of like, just like, God, I don't really know why you love me. I just feel like so unworthy. And he told me, I want you to read through Song of Solomon. And I was like, the heck? You know, it's the book that my parents always didn't really want me reading as a kid. Like, you know, it's like a weird love letter. There's some sus parts to it. But as I was reading it, God just showed me that this is a love letter from him to me. How he just loves me, that I'm special to him, that I stand out, that I'm like his favorite. I know it's not like, I'm not his favorite, but like, you know, he really like cares about me. I'm special to him. And he absolutely loves me. And it just absolutely broke me when I was going through that time of like, oh, Jesus just thinks I'm absolutely gorgeous and just loves me to death. So yeah, that's probably why that verse is just stuck in my mind a lot, of like just being a lily of the valley, standing out, being a beautiful rose amongst thorns. That's also why the lily of the valley is my favorite flower. It's very pretty. It was actually interesting because when I was going through that really hard time, I was in Northern California and there was lily of the valley everywhere. Like I was there in spring during this really hard time in my life and there was just lilies of the valley everywhere. And then I read that passage in scripture and I was like, oh my gosh. It was a very special time. Very, very special. I give him brown or black eyes if you're trying to portray him as humanness. Very common eye colors, but very pretty. That's true. I kind of want a combination of like his revelation description and his humanness. I don't know. Giving Jesus pretty eyes is just like a very, very nice thing to do. Question about art commissions. Are you comfortable with doing drawings that have like 5 or 7 people in them? I asked because the art of yours I've seen has only 1 or 2 people in it. Yeah, I actually do. I've done several group commissions. I did one recently of a whole D&D party. That one was kind of intense. But yeah, I can do 5 or 7 people for sure. Do you have any advice for younger or older Christians? Pertaining to what? Like, what do you want advice on? Because that's very, very broad. Very, very broad question. Yeah, Song of Solomon is a nice read. Probably one of my favorite books. It's definitely my favorite book right now. It's just precious. Didn't Solomon have like a bajillion wives? Yeah. He did. But yeah. Anyways, I always interpret Song of Solomon, even though it was written by Solomon to his favorite wife. I've always interpreted it as like a love letter from Jesus to us, his church. It's just a very sweet book of the Bible. Very precious. I always love how people draw Jesus in different ways. I mean, yeah. It's interesting because it's like, yeah, there's a lot of different like portrayals of Jesus, but like at the heart of it, you can kind of like tell who it is. Like, I don't know. I hope that if you look at this drawing, you're like, oh yeah, that's Jesus, even though it doesn't look like how other people draw Jesus, you know? Like, there's a uniform understanding of who Jesus is, I suppose. I just think that's really cool. Very neat indeed. A lot of people think God loves us but doesn't like us. I contest that God likes the trees and flowers too. I think that God is just head over heels in love with us. That was actually something I struggled with a lot as a kid. I didn't understand what it meant for God to love us. I was just like, oh yeah, love, I know what that means. I didn't understand what love meant at all, honestly. And that was kind of, during that time when I read Song of Solomon, I was just like crying every day, just realizing the love of God. That was kind of when I realized what love really means. Just absolute adoration and like just, you know, just tender affection from God. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been missing this my entire life. Stay in school and eat veggies, that's my advice. Maybe advice on staying consistent in the faith. I'm actually making a video on that. Kind of like what to do when you feel distant from God is the topic of my next video. So that's interesting that you bring that up. The points, I don't want to spoil the video too much, but the points that I come across, the points I came up with in the video is, for one, Jesus really cares about your emotions. It's normal. It's normal to feel distant from God. It's normal to feel like you're a failure. Like, that happens a lot. It happens to every Christian. You go through seasons of just a dead winter season. It happens all the time. And I think, like, feeling super guilty about it, it's just going to drag you deeper into that feeling of distance from God. You're still going to be, you know, stuck in that kind of mentality for a long time if you're feeling guilty about it. So realizing that this is normal and it's escapable and you can survive it is kind of the first thing I would say. Second of all, God does really care about our emotions, and that's something that has been taking me a long time to learn, because I always thought, oh, God doesn't really care how I feel. I just should always be happy. I shouldn't feel sad or anything, because that's wrong. Completely bogus. I don't know where I got that idea from. It's not true. God cares about all of our emotions, our sad emotions, our angry emotions, our happy emotions. We're allowed to feel that way. It's not illegal to have, you know, doubts, to struggle. Thirdly, recognize that feelings aren't truth. They're important. It's how we interpret the world. It's how we understand God and ourselves, but they're not always true. And if you're not sanctifying your emotions constantly, they're hardly ever true. Like Jeremiah says, the heart is deceitful above all things. So yeah, it's kind of like important to recognize, hey, emotions are important, but at the same time, trust God's word more than emotions, because, you know, he has something to say that's much better than, you know, just feeling sad one day. Because, like, if our faith depends on how we're feeling, I'll just say, yesterday I was feeling very distant from God. I felt like I, you know, was not doing very good in the faith. I felt kind of useless and distant from God. Today I feel very close to God. And, like, if our faith was dependent on our emotions, then yesterday I wouldn't have been a believer and today I am a believer, and that doesn't make sense. You know, you can't change your mind that quickly. If that makes sense to you guys. So, understanding that, like, there's some things that hold true no matter how we're feeling. There's a lot of things that hold true no matter how we're feeling. Truth is truth regardless of how you feel about it. How you feel about yourself, how you feel about God. God is always close to you, no matter how you feel. You are always loved by God, no matter how you feel. So understanding that emotions are healthy. Bad emotions are healthy you have to experience all of them to experience any of them, kind of thing. But at the same time, there's truth that is higher than your emotions, I suppose. Okay, I need to catch up. Christ is risen to glory, God and Father, hallelujah, amen. Nobody mentioned in the Bible is perfect except for Jesus, 100%. All the art is so different, but you can tell who Jesus is. For real, for real. I thought of emotions and faith too and came to the same conclusion. Yeah, it's like there's so many emotions to do with faith. There's so many beautiful feelings to do with faith. But that's not all faith is. Faith is also a conscious choice to trust in God even when the feelings aren't there. It's a conscious choice to be obedient even when you don't feel like it, even when you feel distant from God, even when you feel like you're not a Christian anymore. Just taking that step forward and doing the right thing, regardless of how you're feeling, that's faith. It's assurance in things hoped for and things not seen. It's not assurance in, oh, something that you 100% know is true. That's not faith. That's just knowledge, and there's no connection there. Actually, I would say that our faith is strongest when we're weakest. When we are doubting and when we are struggling, but we still act in faith and we still do the right thing, when we still are obedient to God and you know, love God, even though we're struggling, that's beautiful faith, you know? You don't get that just, you know, having a perfect life, you know? If that makes sense. I hope that helps a little bit. I know it's just kind of yapping, not really saying anything. Random question, favorite snack? I like Swiss rolls. Like little chocolate rolls with cream inside. I smell the need for a prayer request. Do you listen to the band Skillet? I'm not a huge rock fan. I try to avoid rock as much as I can. So no, I do not. I do not listen to Skillet. Okay. Pretty girl, pretty eyes, the stars in the sky. Oh crap. Clip ended. Sag. Emotions are like extensions of the heart. Weaker emotions are like weaker arms or eyes, but just like there's truth beyond the physical, our senses can be fooled, our emotions can be too. 100%. There's both emotional truth and truth beyond the emotional. For real, for real. Very true. Is your character supposed to be a fairy? Yeah. My character is supposed to be a supposed to be a fairy. What happened? Why is this not working? Okay. I think it's working. I think. Wow, I discovered your channel at like 3 AM in one of my rough seasons. You really have inspired me to keep doing what you do. Aww. Thank you, I appreciate that. If someone gets shot in the brain and their personality changes, what do you think happens to their spirit soul thing? I don't know. That's an interesting question. My grandma had like Alzheimer's for most of my life, and you know, by the time, you know, she passed away, she was not at all the same person she was when she was, you know, healthy. And my mom always said that, you know, grandma went to heaven long before her body died, which I found interesting. You know, I don't know how I feel about that, but like, it is an interesting thought to have. I made a mistake. Okay. I fixed the mistake. I'm trying to figure out. Hopefully that works. Your channel frog has a habit of reaching people in the times when they need it the most. Aww. That's very sweet. Why is this doing that? Ugh. I legit just want to reject God and believe in Satan. Girl. Like, it's because it's too hard to be a Christian or what? I'm pretty sure spirit and soul don't look the way we expect them, how they appear when they filter through our bodies and brains. I mean, like, spirit and soul are different things. Like, spirit is something that is like, well, spiritual, you know, it's completely separate from our physical body. Our soul, I think, is our personality, our mind, our will. This channel's like Gandalf, it appears when we need it to. Yet the lives we live have imprints on our spirit and our soul that either glorify or degenerate it. Yeah. It's a really interesting concept, because I don't know if we're ever going to fully grasp it before we get to heaven. I'll be honest. But yeah. Yo, would you look at that, guys? We finished a frame. I think I found your channel from Sunby. Really? I haven't talked to Sunby in forever. It's actually kind of sad. But yeah. When I was just starting out my channel, she and I were like doing everything together. And then we just kind of like drifted apart, which was very, very sad. But yeah. It's just kind of what happens with friendships, I suppose. Frame done! Woo! We're so cool, guys. In a little bit, I might switch from this channel to my gaming channel and stream Minecraft on there. Because it is so hot in my room, it's really hard to focus on doing art right now. It is actually insanely warm. Sunby is precious. She's a very cool person. Must protect Sunby at all costs.
Bout of Orion, the way we're alive. Bout of Orion,
Bro, why is it not? Why it not showing? I haven't been on my server in a long time, actually. I don't know if I have the mod pack anymore. We could do Minecraft. I have a single player world I started yesterday. I also have been thinking about restarting the Minecraft server and just doing mostly vanilla server. Because yes, I think people would actually enjoy that a little bit better. It is actually so hot. I'm sorry, guys. No more art. I can't. 3 streams in one day? I'm gonna close some things because my PC is crowded. I've been thinking about restarting the Minecraft server and just doing a vanilla server. Maybe a few mods. I don't know. And then actually playing on it this time instead of just paying for it for other people. Or we could just end stream for the day. And we can just go our separate ways. I wonder if what's her name is still streaming. I wonder. Vanilla would be more accessible too. That was a huge problem with the server, is that yeah, it was really hard for people to actually join to begin with. Oh, someone made an AI generated Studio Ghibli Bible movie. Let's go. Bro, I'm so tired of the whole the AI art debate. It's insane. Celestium, are you still streaming? Not AI. For some reason, I can't seem to find Celestium. Crazy. I don't know why it's so hard for me to find people. Frog just staring is kind of scary though. I could try to find a different PNG model if you want. Dang, I don't think she's live anymore. Sad. Well, I was on her server earlier today while she was streaming, so. Well, I think I might just play on my single player world in a little bit. I need to get something to drink and maybe a snack. And then we'll probably hop over on the other channel. Kenneth is really blaspheming in the chat. Bro, I don't really care. I mean, like, I care about how depressed you are, but it doesn't matter how depressed you are. God is still God. He still cares about you. He still loves you. And just because you're feeling the way you are doesn't mean God has changed or he's any different than he's ever been. You can feel depressed, but don't ever accuse God of being someone he isn't, because he doesn't change. Okay, bye on the way over. Thank you for joining the stream. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream, guys, so all of y'all who probably won't come and see me on the other channel because they don't have the link. Actually, I'm gonna post the link real quick, and then you'll have it. You guys can join me over there if you want, or you don't have to. I'm gonna be live in like a little bit. I'm gonna be live there over on there in a little bit, and you can join me. I'm just gonna get something to drink and a snack, and then I'll go live again. Alright, bye guys. Thanks for joining the stream. I enjoyed spending time with you all, so thank you.